to announce that we will be having an amendment proposed tonight to the certified budget for this year. And if anyone would like to speak to that, it's in the published agenda. You can inspect it. And any comments? If not, we will call this meeting to order. And we will have the roll call.
Hi, Anderson. Here. Downs. Here. Hauser.
Here.
Cabildo.
Here.
Rooted. Here.
I believe that's going to be it for tonight. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That's unanimous. Okay, do we have, at this time, any communication from the public? Okay. We don't have any items that are posted right now for future items, so we will move into the facilities update.
Just letting the board know that the relocation committee continues to meet and basically sharing all the activities that are in the midst of being planned and or getting prepped for next year. The minutes are in there for your observation. A couple other activities, most of you were aware we had a photo op for the fitness center, so we sort of put shovels in the ground, but that'll be happening very soon. It's fenced off and we'll be rolling on that. So also some other key dates of possibilities. They're probably using the term anticipated often. There could be a auction. There will be for sure a neighborhood meeting coming up. We've had one meeting with the neighbors around Olmsted, and we're trying to be very intentional and make sure they know what's coming as far as when construction comes along, so they get an idea of the timeline and what to expect, and then what our role is in helping take care of their yards as well, things like that. And then over June 4th, there will be a neighborhood block party planned. There's a potential garage sale on July 6th. And it's kind of later, I guess I put the other thing in there. So that's it. Is there any questions from the board?
I just had a quick question. On March 25th, you gave us a really great timeline of the project for the high school fitness center. Do we have anything that detailed yet prepared for elementary school number 1?
It's coming, and that actually comes from the contractors. John, when's that pre-meeting? I don't think it was planned yet, actually. It's coming up.
It's going to be middle of June. We have a
Possibly
bid
13.
schedule already in place, but we're going to have a more detailed schedule at the pre-construction meeting June 13. We'll get all the contractors.
Okay. So late June, early July, the board should have a hold of that timeline that gives greater detail.
Yes, it's already part of the specifications, but yes, we'll have updated. We update them every 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
I guess I just wanted to make one comment that I looked through these minutes, and it's just amazing to me all the things you guys are thinking of and considering and the details, and I just really commend the work on this, the minute things that you're thinking of. So keep up the great work, and I'm sure there's something you forgot or you're going to think of later, but I just was really impressed reading the minutes. So keep considering everything.
I was just telling Tim actually earlier, I don't think I'll be shocked if we forget something, honestly. I mean, we've had so much participation from support staff, teachers, and again, very intentional. I know I keep using that word, but it's almost like no stone is unturned. So thank you for recognizing that. And again, at times it feels like maybe there's not a lot going on, but there really is a lot behind the scenes still going. So it's all good, but thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right. Next item will be the resolution directing the sale of the Series 2019 general obligation bonds. And I believe Tim a handout in front of everyone.
So I put there's 2 pages and they're printed front and back. So bids are due at noon today, and as you recall, it's very much online. There's people don't walk in and hand this bid. We try and discourage fax bids. We don't have a fax in our office. So anyway, I find it entertaining the time at which the bids are submitted, so I thought I would lead with sharing you the time, and it's not uncommon for a bidder to cut it pretty close. Yeah. Anyway, so if you turn the page over, then there were 3 bids submitted. Winning bid from Robert Baird out of Milwaukee at an average interest rate of 3.013%. Second place bid, FTN out of Memphis, 3.017. There's $5,800 difference in interest cost between the 2 bids over 20 years.
Wow.
On 10 million of our money. They're virtually identical bids. So, and even the third place, there's only $100,000 difference in that particular bid, and that goes to a 3.07. So the 3 bidders that were there saw the same thing, and that's always a good sign. Means you know that the bids, there's not an outlier on either side of the equation. I told Mary Beth this morning, I had, when we set up the schedule, we have to make some assumptions about how the bidder will bid and their strategy. We had assumed they would bid with a 4% interest rate and produce a little higher premium, but they actually used a 3% interest rate and produced less premium. And so that affords us the opportunity to re-amortize the issue. There's less interest expense. So we pushed $100,000 of the issue up out of the year 20 years from now and into the first year, because that would stay within the 405 levy that you previously authorized. So in that little box on the right, it says as resized. The average interest rate, you kind of have to go out several decimal places to see the change. It's very, very minor, but it does end up reducing interest costs by a little over $40,000 because of the ability to move some payments around. Doing okay?
Yeah, so, sorry,
Please.
super layman's terms. We're taking payments off at the end of the loan.
And putting them into the first year.
Great.
Because you levied 405,
Mhm.
you've already approved your budget. When we calculated based on the original payment schedule, there was $100,000 left over we needed to spend because you levied the tax.
Yeah.
So I just moved the payments up.
Great.
All right, so then the next page is my lots of numbers page. And so what I tried to do is show you, I wanted to show you the future bonds that you have yet to issue on the 59 million authorization, what you've issued so far on that authorization. So what you've issued is kind of got a peachish color, and it includes the issue that you're considering right now. The kind of goldish color are the issues yet to be sold. And so in round numbers, you sold about 20 million of the 59. And the timing on which you can sell, and you'll notice I've got an issue scheduled for next year and the year after, and then in 2023. And you'll recall from our discussions over the last couple of years that it's that second elementary building that's so heavily influenced by when we can sell the bonds. And so this is not necessarily relevant for the decisions you're making today on elementary number 1 and the high school edition, but it is very much relevant for the decision making with respect to number 2. And I have assumed that the day we tell you you can move that building up a year is the day you'll move that building up a year, right? So it's important that we keep talking about it, not lose sight of that. Anyway, we can't move it up a year yet, but we made progress. And so right now, if you use current property values and you don't inflate them at all, you'll issue all 59 million over the period from now to 2023. That's progress. We weren't even sure when we started we'd be able to issue the whole 59 million. So that's progress. Any amount of property value growth, we will be able to start playing around with that bond in 23, maybe moving it up a year or part of it up a year, so you can then start to make those decisions. And for perspective, your property values over the last 5 years have averaged about 4% a year increase in value. We're assuming 0. So the next discussion we'll have on this topic will be in January when Dallas and Polk counties give us the new values for budget year 21. And we'll want to be back talking about this issue again at that time in a little more detail. Doing okay so far?
Tim?
Shoot, please.
Property valuations, you generally just assume a 0%.
Yeah, so out of abundance of caution, we tend to just drop default to
Just wonder.
0. Now, when we voted the 59, though, there was built in, I think, 3 or 4 years of 3% vote growth to assume to get to the 59. So we did assume value growth.
Good.
The last page then is one I intend to just periodically update for you, which is just to kind of show you an accounting of what money is available for the project and what money has been spent on professional fees by the different vendors. So you'll note that for right now, I kind of highlighted there will be some fees that we don't know what they are today because they won't occur for several years, legal counsel and rating and things like that. I have filled in those that we do know. For example, my firm's agreement with you, we know what that fee will look like, so we have plugged that in. But we don't know what the underwriters will charge, and we don't know what kind of premiums will generate, if any, into the future. So I'm just trying to show you a picture of where you sit in terms of resources. And the only final edit I have here is that I'm ignoring interest earnings. You are earning some interest on the idle funds. You'll take this money and I presume go to IceJet and buy a CD or a series of CDs, and when you do that, you'll earn more than 2% rate on it, and that will actually add up to a real number over the term of the project. So ironically, the question earlier about timing of the construction project, I'll be keenly interested to see that document as well, because we'll factor that in and start doing some calculations on interest when it's available.
Can you just clarify? I think you mentioned that we did have a premium. So are these 19 numbers on the 4th page where it says 125,000? Is that before what happened today, or that is
the premium that they bid?
Got it.
So now here's the catch. It's a little misleading what I said. There was $125,000 premium. They charged you $143,000 to do their work. Robert Baird did. So there's actually it's a negative net result because their fee was higher than the premium, but there was actually a very slight premium.
Okay. Yep. Thanks for clarifying that. Got it.
And I do think for the rest of these issues, I do think we will see larger premiums if market conditions are stay where they are. We'll see some bigger premiums on the next issues than we saw on this one.
Got it.
I'm trying not to go on too long. If you're ready,
It's only $10 million.
Yeah, I know. If you're ready, we've evaluated the bids. They are accurate as submitted, and we would recommend you take up the resolution to award Robert Baird.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous, Mary Beth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Tim.
Jim. Appreciate it.
3%. The next item is a certified budget amendment for the 18-19 year, and there's information that was published in the paper. There are 2 areas. There's 4 areas total that could be exceeded that need to be addressed before they are exceeded, if a board knows that. And so for total support services, we had $16,259,000, and we're asking that to be amended to $18,259,000. This had to do with changes of coding and expenses in the support services area, just a reclassification of where things were coded. They were in the instruction area before. And the other area, the total other expenditures, includes the debt service expenses, and that had to do with the bond refinancing and also the timing of our construction payments that we feel might be happening. I probably gave us a little bit of cushion there on the total expenditures, but I don't feel comfortable recommending much less than that, and it would be a shame to amend and then still come up short. So that's my reasoning for that. Do you have any questions?
If we had a reclass from support to instruction, should we be amending the instruction line too?
It doesn't hurt to leave it at that level.
Oh, okay.
They just want it increased. It doesn't matter if you decrease it. I mean, technically you probably could decrease it, but I guess I've never done that before. So I have focused on what needed increasing and not worried about what's coming in under.
Got it.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
But it would be like a reclass basically between the two lines you have
Yes.
on the paper. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was kind of confused by.
Oh, you mean for this amendment, you don't need to cite that decrease?
That's right.
Okay, okay. That's what I was wondering.
Okay. Got it.
Any other questions?
I motion to approve the 2018 to 19 certified budget amendment as proposed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. All right,
Thank you. Thank you.
okay, asbestos abatement for Homestead. Any questions?
I guess I had a question. Can anybody maybe explain it? I found it really surprising that one bid was half of the others. Was there, I'm not sure anyone has any light in that. I just was curious.
Yeah, I looked at it, we did bid tab, those are like 27,000 under, so I went ahead and called them and told them I was gonna publish bid tab at 9 o'clock next morning, so they could think about it, and if they weren't comfortable with their bid, they could pull it. The two owners talked, and less than an hour later, they got back with me and said they were completely comfortable with the bid that they provided for 48 hours.
Yay.
I don't. So we don't think anybody misunderstood like what they were supposed to do or
No,
anything?
they ran down
Okay.
the project with me over the phone, and they had everything covered, so.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure everybody understood.
I approve the contract for the asbestos abatement as presented.
Second.
Or I move to approve.
Second, Rudy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thanks, John.
Sure.
Okay. The next action item is to approve Project Strive agreement with DMAC, which is a post-secondary program for students with special needs. And it is an agreement that has been in existence for a long time. Anyone have any questions?
So do we need to approve it every time there are students that want to be admitted into the DMAC Strive program? Or is it something where we can facilitate an ongoing agreement with students going there as needed?
So
I think special ed contracts usually are negotiated every year.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is unanimous. Okay. This is a lot of words. Adoption of multi-jurisdictional mitigation plan. Steve, John?
Forgot a word, hazard.
I was gonna say,
We're
not mitigating. jurisdiction.
Yeah, basically it was a one-year journey. Every several years, the county has to upgrade their multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan and then file it with Department of Homeland Security. All interested parties from police departments, fire departments, school districts, city planners, all get involved in it. Most of the projects that we put in are ones that we're gonna do anyhow, so it wasn't like we were spending extra money just to get going. There was a link to the actual plan, if I remember right, it's many pages. But, basically all you're doing is saying that we're gonna accept it. So then they take that, once they get all the people in the plan to accept it, then they can take it to Department of Homeland Security.
Okay. Yeah, let's alter that to adoption of multi-jurisdictional
Hazard mitigation.
hazard mitigation.
Move to approve the adoption of multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Thanks again, John. Okay. We have a list of 318 graduating seniors, some of whom are here with us tonight, pending their reports of Gov hours. Yeah.
It does say pending completion.
That's right.
Remember that.
We have a motion to bring these names forward.
Motion to approve the 2019 graduation list.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so it's unanimous. The next item is to approve the Metro West Academy calendar, which operates on a bit different schedule than ours.
It's, the days are identical, it's just that they have some additional PD days in there, in half-day segments, and they try to balance that out since their students attend either AM or PM. Otherwise, it's basically identical. And one thing, I'm not sure why we keep giving this at this time of year, so I really need to find out why we just can't do them all at once in the future, so.
Okay. Motion?
Is this school represented on the calendar committee?
No.
Okay.
It is not. But again, since they're identical.
That's what you just said.
It can be, yeah, but I'm not sure why we wait then.
I got it, sorry.
That's okay.
A motion to approve the Metro West Learning Academy calendar for 19 through 20.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. Okay, this is the second and final reading of the crowdfunding policy 833. Any further considerations, changes? What's that red line?
Oh, I think it's that we don't have that one, and then the recommended one from ISB, they wanted that, but we do not have that, so that will not be there.
Okay.
We've done some research on that.
Oh, okay, for cross-reference.
Yes.
But did you say we're gonna do research on what that, if that's a hole in our policy, or after research you bought that out?
I don't know, I guess,
I
I thought your group was going to look further into, I just know we didn't have it, so I highlighted it.
Oh,
And I
okay,
went and looked at it myself.
great.
So I will look further into it. I'm not sure. Again, I think you used another district as a model too, and they had that, so it may just be a district preference.
You don't have to look into it, I just misunderstood what you were
So I'm
saying.
still kind of curious.
Okay, I just don't wanna give you homework.
It's okay.
Exactly what I was.
Got it curious with it.
So did we mimic some other district?
We looked at Waukee and Johnston.
Okay.
And
And ISB's
ISB's.
recommendation. Yep. And we had administrators, we sent it out to administrators for their input and suggestions and took their feedback as well into things, so.
So is there, let's say, a teacher or someone would like to do a crowdfund? Let's say they want flexible seating, so for their room. So they want to start a GoFundMe. So they go to their principal and their principal says, actually, I don't think this is a great idea. Let's not do it. Is there then an appeals process? Or is it live and die in the hands of one administrator? Is kind of my question. And is that going to, would that staunch equity throughout the school, which is throughout the school district, which I think this was meant to keep things more equitable. My concern is you could have a principal or administrator that's very pro crowdfunding and another one that doesn't care for crowdfunding. So I'm just wondering if there's an appeals process and if there's a need for an appeals process.
What's happening right now is that this is going on without, I think Judy said it well, I know you weren't here last time, but you just said, you know, technology has outpaced our board policy. And when I had just been here 3 weeks, which was about a year and a half ago, I got an email from an administrator saying, hey, how do we handle this? And I looked and we didn't have a policy on it, which is not unique. A lot of schools didn't. And so I feel like there's really, I mean, at least at this point in time, I feel like there's very good communication with the administrators and not only their staff, but also this office. I meet twice a year with every administrator and review budget, and we talk about things like this and equipment. And so I guess to answer your question about appeal, I feel like if they even have a question about something, they call our office and they talk to me or they talk to Steve. And I feel like we're all on the same page. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, 5 years from now that couldn't change depending on the people, but the communication is very good right now. And I feel like if there was an appeal, it would get, you know, all the things would be aired before it even probably went to application, I would say at this point.
And I think the process in which you're describing wouldn't live in this policy. It would live, because it would be overarching for any decision, any like budgetary decision or a decision that a teacher would have. Like any decision a teacher would make that would have to have principal approval to write in a specific appeal process for this policy, when really it would just be, what would you do?
And that's
And
policy
for
229,
all.
the complaint procedure, or what policy are you referring to?
I don't know, I'm just saying that whatever that is wouldn't live in the specific one.
I guess I was
Right.
just curious as to, and it may live elsewhere, then I was curious as to, okay, what policy can they, okay, not satisfied with the outcome, what policy do I now cross-reference to see what do I do if I'm unhappy? I'm so glad to hear that communication sounds really excellent. But my concern is just always those scenarios where somebody would like to escalate a situation and how would they do so, and making sure that we are providing open lines of communication. So that's just my question, and I'll leave it to the board. I'm just one person with a little concern regarding that matter.
And I would say that probably it isn't necessarily limited to crowdfunding. It's probably more in the bigger picture, you know, I'm thinking as a teacher, I'd like to do this. How can we help that to happen? So I guess I kind of agree with Judy that it's a little bit different process. And I do think that there's been a definite need for some standardization of the crowdfunding practices. I don't know that this will necessarily bring it about completely, but at least at this point, we have a policy. And the people before I was on the finance committee worked long and hard on it. So at this point, I would probably recommend going ahead and approving this with the possible addition of the, whatever that promotion, whatever that ad was, the cross-reference. And the other part I would kind of agree is a different conversation. I mean, this is one option that people could follow. But you know, the youth foundation also tries to on some of those things. There are a lot of different alternatives, so. But I think it's a valid question. Do I have a motion to approve it on the final reading here?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thanks for the discussion. Okay, now we move along to the stall contracts for elementary 1 with various contract and contractors. A volume on its own. So David is here to answer any questions from stall.
David, you might have already answered this, and I apologize if you have. When are we going to rebid item 3B?
So we're still working those details out because we're seeing if it's gonna be better to go through one of the existing contractors as a change order or a new bid. It's gonna be 2 separate items now instead of 1. We've got some time for that. We're still trying to get scheduled on when's gonna be the best time to get better pricing. Right now, there's a lot of bidding on precast. So right now, if we were to bid it, the market is a little bit higher. We're waiting, hopefully about a month from now, we should be able to have a better sense of getting that cheaper price. We do have a number in the budget, and we should not exceed that number. So we're hoping to beat it, not.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you being so cognizant of the market. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so this is approved unanimously. It's getting real. Okay.
Yeah, painters.
Nothing to paint, but yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay, so this is the agreement for the UEW and non-UEW classified employees for next school year. Do you have any questions or comments about this proposal? Okay, do I have a motion to ratify them?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. And moving forward, contracts for the admin staff. It should be nearly the end of our contractual obligations. Have any questions or comments about the proposals? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, unanimous? We don't have any board reports. Steve's report.
Yeah, again, I probably could have put these together, but I wanted to, at the time, make it a little bit separate. The Homestead Legacy Celebration, just a reminder, all board members are welcome to attend, and President Hauser will do a brief few comments on all of us short. The mayor, we're trying to get the mayor. Dana, did you hear back?
I have not heard back.
Okay,
No.
I mean, again, we're just trying to do basically a celebration. It'll be some activities take place in the afternoon with the staff, with past teachers coming back and working with some kids as well. So should just be again, trying to remain very positive. It starts again at 4:15. We'll be completed the whole evening by 7. But there will be basically a planned ceremony at 5:30 just with some general comments. But it should be really exciting. And those other dates I mentioned to you are in that flyer as well. Again, just a reminder, a lot of those activities are tentative at this time. But put that on your calendar. It'll be a busy week there. With graduation taking
Now,
place.
are we invited to the block party, Steve?
Yeah.
Are there invitations? Okay.
Of course you are.
I haven't seen any invitations either, so I didn't know the answer to that.
All except you.
Well, we can cheer from a half a block away.
So this garage sale, is that just kind of mementos or?
Oh, it's like if we don't have teacher desks go on
Gov
gov deals.
deals, yeah.
Bricks?
I am
Don't
working
you
on
know
a plan
this
for the
is
bricks. There will be a
We'll
brick giving ceremony.
Bricks are a different deal, they're free, we'll be handing them out throughout the demolition. If I'm not around, it's just a little bit of my truck, grab one.
There are gonna be a lot of bricks.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell everybody.
Be a lot of new patios out there.
How many of you students went through Olmsted for kindergarten?
I was at the beginning.
Is that for real, Don?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
So
Should
it's
see his
picture.
yearbook picture.
Oh, I'm adorable.
It was in the, it was always in the principal's office though.
I believe that.
Well,
There's a lot of history.
there really is, and that's the legacy that
Everyone
we want to recognize.
connected in one way or another.
Okay, great. All right. Do I have a motion to bring forward the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. I did have a question from some students about how and why, like, requests for field trips are overnight, or in this case, out of the country. Field trips, those are always included in the consent agenda. In this case, oh, there. This is a trip to Ireland. Kind of jealous. So anyway, just to have you notice, all of those kind of items are in the consent agenda, and they're brought forward as a group for those of you who are students here. Do we have any questions on any of the items in the consent agenda? Clarifications?
I have a question on the CSC, the security company that we're going to be approving.
Mhm.
Now, it said that they didn't research other companies, is that right? Did I read that right?
Correct.
Are there other companies that are available, or is that just,
I had that same question, Aldrich.
I don't know who would provide the same level of service because I don't know of any other companies.
That was what I understand from Bill, that there are some other smaller groups that do it, but, and other schools have tried it, and in the conversation, he said they have not been successful when they come back. Well, yeah. I know ultimately Bill's plan has been trying to continually add a little bit of our internal people, which he's actually kind of hired to do it away from that group. So you may see some of the same faces, but you'll see they're not wearing that little yellow jacket because they're our people.
I did review the bills, and the board will be glad to know that our finance committee meets next week, and I have written procedures that we will be reviewing. So after, hopefully before the next meeting out in our finance committee folder, you will have written procedures of what I look for with the bills, along with some of the other procedures we're performing at the finance committee level. So I apologize, it's been a long time coming, but they are drafted. They're going to be discussed a week from today, and I'll be glad that I'll be able to provide that to everybody. So.
Good, thank you. It's been our goal, so that's awesome. Okay, so without any objection, I'll go ahead and approve the consent agenda. We do not have a work session tonight.
We need to, we got to just vote real quick.
Okay, Mark says we don't have to. Okay,
Do we have to vote?
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Sorry, I apologize.
Mark says no every time. It's unanimous.
Thanks.
I think he means we don't need a motion, because the motion.
We motion and then we actually took the vote after the second, so we probably should have done that, right?
Oh,
But it's
sorry.
counts.
That's right. Great. I'm sorry, I missed that
So
one.
we're okay with that.
It's okay, we haven't done it the same any time so far, so it's all good. Okay, so at the end, I'd like to point out some important dates. Teacher appreciation is the week after next. Our board meeting on May 20th will be at the high school because of all the retirements. So we hope to honor all of our retirees at that meeting also. Graduation is Wednesday, the 29th at Drake. And then the Metro graduation is the next evening, so.
Catherine, as a district, do we do anything, even just a token of gratitude, do we do anything for teacher and staff appreciation week? I've always thought it would be nice if we ordered like cupcakes for everybody or something just really small, just a small token of appreciation. And I know it could be a little late to do it this year, but I would love to in future years, if it's too late to have that discussion, to designate a monetary amount for per head or per person and just be able to do something from the board essentially to let them know that we appreciate. Do we do anything like
We
that?
did, didn't we? We did the movie, was it the movie?
I don't recall that we've done it from a district level, honestly.
And I'm sure
I know,
principals do
yeah.
things for their staff, but I want from up top systemically as a district to thank every member. I think it would be really nice if we started having the conversation to do something. I'm thinking really small, like
And I know
a cup.
Southeast Polk did like an apple every year, I know. So. And truth is, we probably, if that's your wish, I mean, there's no reason we could have this year changed it.
I would
don't think
really
that's a
love
motion, as
to.
long as we-
Can
And is that,
Can we look at that at the finance committee meeting on Monday? We'll add it to our agenda and then we'll be able to bring it before the board, just to ensure public purpose and budget and just all those things. And then we can bring it before.
And what fund we're gonna use, oh, okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that will be talked about at the next meeting and then give appropriate time to plan for staff and teacher. So I wanna make sure we're including associates and just truly every staff member.
We'll add it to Monday. The
Okay.
finance committee meeting on Monday, so we'll add it to our agenda.
There's
To
been,
look at
what they're referencing too, is there's been a lot of scrutiny about
public
those
policy.
kinds of
Public purpose.
public
gifts and
Mhm.
public purpose being behind them, and so it's.
Sometimes it turns into no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, so we
You're
wanna
doing a
do
good
it,
thing,
so we'll
exactly.
figure out how to do it legally.
Okay, that's really a great idea.
Cause God forbid we get you a shirt.
Or, yeah,
Make myself bigger now.
you have to be able to eat it, so there's no evidence.
No wrapper then.
Right. Well, and honestly, that is an outgrowth of events that have happened in districts and municipalities over the course of the last year. And so there's added scrutiny. I will commit to, I've done this in the past, to writing a note to, now it won't be a surprise, of appreciation for everything that our teachers and certified and classified people have done for our students this year. And I will sign it with all of your names, if that's acceptable. So we will proceed now with.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Do you, Catherine, have a timing of the evaluation process for Steve? Like what our due dates and expectations are? And I apologize, it might have been shared at the board meeting I missed a month ago. But can you just repeat those, please?
It was, and I have, Steve has told me that I have a communication that I didn't read yet this afternoon, and I will be getting it to everyone on the board.
Is our plan to do that at the next board meeting or the next
No.
one?
It will be,
I think it was, and please check your numbers. I think you have until the next board meeting to get your comments to Catherine, and then she has the 2-week time. So the last board meeting will have a closed session in May.
Okay, so we have stuff due to her 2 weeks from today.
Correct.
Yes.
Or
and she'll
is
get
the
those
form on
up.
Simply or somewhere? Or are
I
you gonna
am
send it
going
out?
to forward it to you when I read it.
Okay,
Which
perfect.
I
I
have not
just,
done.
okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew
Yes.
expectations.
So double check that, but I think that's the dates.
Okay, so we will be filling out our evaluation of the meeting. And I see many people have already done that, so do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Sorry, students, pretty quick meeting.
No, you get an hour. You get an hour, and you fill out the other one, you get an hour and a half.